What's up, guys? Welcome back to the That's Sowdev podcast. My name is Dev. Thank you so much for tuning in today. I appreciate you. Y'all, you know we have Fifth Harmony tea to get into once again. This is our third episode of Keeping Up with Fifth Harmony. And we're going to get into some Harmonizer tea today. Absolutely. Now, before we get to the tea, you already know. Before we get into the tea, make sure you go ahead and follow me at That's Sowdev on Twitter, Instagram, and literally everywhere else, especially YouTube. Go ahead and subscribe. We got it popping over there. Okay? Now, Harmonizers. We have to... you need to dedicate a whole podcast to talking about the impact of the Fifth Harmony fan base. The impact that fan base had when it came to every aspect of promoting the group Fifth Harmony. Getting them to new heights. Getting them to make certain decisions. Getting them certain opportunities. We've got to discuss that. Because that can't be slept on. Now, the first thing that comes to my head when I think about Harmonizers is... Now, reflection. I'm going to say that. And if you're a harmonizer, you already know what I'm going to say. The album cover, though. Come on. When we first saw the original Reflection album cover, it was like, wait, hold on. Whose album cover is that? Because it really just looked like a really, cheap photo shoot. It was the cheapest thing possible, and there was no way with a group that was making so much noise and trying to make such an impact that you were going to give them that cover. It looked worse than the EP's cover. The EP cover, I think, was very fitting for the time and the sound. It was very fitting for the time and the sound of the EP. The EP really, it was kind of giving, influences of that kind of R&B type flavor that they want to kind of go into, but Epic won't let them. They'll only let it be a taste. And, I think that the cover was given, bubblegum pop girly or whatever, it fit it. But with Reflection, it really wasn't given cheap. Even the sound behind it, the rebrand of Fifth Harmony, it didn't match that. So we were like, no way. Because there's no way that's going to be your first impression. So they literally redid the cover just because of the demand. It wasn't one person. It wasn't several people. It was literally collectively all of Harmonizers. And, sometime bullying works, bitch, But it was just the fact that the fans came together with the group's best interest in mind. And trust me, everyone else would have agreed about that cover. They came together and were like, oh, no, baby. Let's go this way. And it was the fact that they also listened as well. Because I hope you don't think the group themselves named themselves Fifth Harmony. Oh, please tell me that you didn't think that. Because ask them. The fans got that name going. They named themselves Lilas. And I remember what the concept was behind it, but I'm so I'm still over it. Because I can't believe they named themselves Lilas. Anyway. So the fans, Fifth Harmony is a fan-driven entity. Honestly. And I hate to say it, but we all know it's true. They're a machine. That sucks. Because when you get into the reality of Fifth Harmony, it's absolutely horrible. But it's also a group that has brought so many people joy. You know what I mean? There's so many flip sides to it. It's such a conflicting thing. It's kind of crazy. But I think that everything that the fans did was just absolutely insane. Now, I have to pull this up because, y'all, I just looked at some of the awards that Fifth Harmony won, and I'm just like, whoa, hold on. Because I'm seeing a lot of these awards that are being won today, and they're really big deals to people. And obviously, at that time, we all knew they were major deals, but it really also puts into perspective how big Fifth Harmony was. I mean, in 2017, even after Camila left, the 3 nominations for the VMAs. That's crazy. And then the EMAs winning US debut over Taylor Swift. Like, come on. Nope. No, ma'am. We have to recognize that. I want to pull it up because they won several awards, actually, over a lot of people. In 2016 at the AMAs, I'm speaking off the top of my head, mind y'all, while I'm looking this up. But the 2016 AMAs, Fifth Harmony won, I believe, Collaboration of the Year. Now, I don't know who all was in that category, and I'm trying to figure that out right now. But let me tell you something. The fact that Fifth Harmony won over several big names is crazy to me. And it's just the fact that I think a lot of people would not. Now, why is it not bringing up these nominees? I'm about to fight y'all. I want to see who they won over. But I think that, a lot of people do not give them the credit that they deserve, especially for winning these awards. Okay, now here we are. I had to go to Wikipedia, y'all. Girl, the ghetto. Okay. So 2016, the nominees for Collaboration of the Year at the AMAs: Fifth Harmony, Work From Home; Chainsmokers, Don't Let Me Down; Drake, One Dance; Rihanna, Work; Meghan Trainor, Like I'm Gonna Lose You; and Despacito. No. Sorry, Despacito's in 2017. But they won over Drake and Rihanna. Let's start there. That's not crazy to people, but it also just shows you the impact of Harmonizers. Who? Go please. Harmonizers. Y'all, look, the way that... Here's what's so intricate about Fifth Harmony. I'm going to get back to, these nominations in just a second. But, the reason why they have a lot of these are, yes, because of Harmonizers. We know that, period. But it's so much intricate than that. So when you think about an artist having a fan base, right? One artist has a fan base. But when you look at a group, especially Fifth Harmony, each girl was a lead and standing in their own right and own light, well, as much as they could. But for sure, in a social media aspect of it all, they had their own, brands. So each person created their own following, which then created, the stan accounts that you know today. The Lauren Haregi updates, Normani updates, Dinah Jane updates, Halle Brooke updates, Camila updates, all of them entered into the world. And then all of those accounts had accounts specifically for voting ran by other people for each artist, but also for as a group. So you see how all these different avenues and shit that it's just the way that it was just so intricate and so structured, because all of these accounts, okay, it's time to vote. So this is the system that we can use to maximize our tweets, because, retweets, favorites, all that at this time, they're counting significantly for votes. Fifth Harmony was during 2017 to through 2018. I can't speak today. Anyway, so here we are. We have to vote. The best method that we can do is put everybody in one space and then maximize each individual account So that way, everybody is retweeting everything that each account retweets. And each account is saying, hey, put this many tweets below. So not only is each account getting the retweets and likes from themselves, but they're cross-promoting each other. So every account that has its own following from every girl is bringing in that traffic. You may get lost with me saying that, but the way it's just so intricate, it maximizes your voting. So that way, when it comes to time to... Okay. Also, with that being said, girl, the one thing that I think that they do best is that they also keep up with the voting. So in the whole process, while they're, getting their retweets and blah, 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 and blah, 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 they're also keeping track of it so that way they know when it comes to a conclusion how many votes that they had. And while this is a very familiar thing right now, it wasn't then. This is just like everyday Stan stuff. But at this time, gifting on iTunes still counted as a sale. So, like, it was just a completely different time. And I think that with the mindset and with the avenues that Harmonizers had created, and now it's not to say, Harmonizers created being a stan. There are certain aspects that I think fans like the Harmonizers took on and pushed even forward beyond what was already there, created a whole different space of being a stan. And that's really when BTS came about on that back end of Fifth Harmony and everything. To be honest with you, in the mainstream space of the US market, yes. And that's when we really started to see that stan stuff really start to take off. Check me. Trust me. I was there. I remember what happened. It's very interesting to me to see how everything regarding, like each individual girl's update account, it's so weird to me. Because when Camila left, the update account released their own statement and then was no longer intertwined with the other account. It was like the accounts had their own separation. And then the girls went on hiatus, and the same thing happened with all the accounts. Now all the accounts are just their own thing. I find that so crazy. It's so weird how a community is really built within a fan base. Because genuinely, there genuinely was a community, because when it did come to voting, everybody was on the timeline voting. Everybody was literally just going hard and retweeting everything. When it came to, that's what they utilized a lot. Interactions big time. I think they do it less now on Twitter, probably because they think people use bots. So now a lot of them do half and half, or a combination of multiple. But when it really was social media interactions, we went crazy. I think the one thing that probably tripped us up was 2017 when it came voting for Song of the Summer. They tried to switch it up and did voting on Snapchat. So I don't think anybody really knew how to vote for that shit. But honestly, if we could, we would have won. We did the year prior for All in My Head. Fifth Harmony won. For the VMA Song of the Summer, All in My Head, we voted for that, won that down. Also in 2016, they won Best Collaboration, and they won that over, obviously, Drake and Rihanna in 2016, but Taylor Swift, and I believe, Freedom with Beyonce and Kendrick Lamar. Yeah, some real shit. You have to have skill to do that. Music has become a sport. It really has. Everybody's artist is their favorite team, just like a person who watches sports. It's very interesting to see. It's very organized now. Even being a Nicki Minaj fan, it really has always been this way in a way. I think that the Barbs really have created that lane a bit. I would say the Barbs definitely have. I would say Justin Bieber fans definitely have. Taylor Swift fans for sure definitely have. I would honestly say Miley Cyrus fans, to be honest, whether you have your opinion or not or whatever does not matter. Definitely, because I was out there in 2006 literally buying physical CDs when they would restock them early in the morning in Walmarts. Yeah, be serious. Anyway, this is about fans, girl. Fifth Harmony fans. And I think that when it comes to Harmonizers, everything about it is just, I think it really comes down to the interactions. Because the interactions really did fuel the Harmonizers. I mean, they had the Fifth Harmony account. If you go through the Fifth Harmony account, look at how interactive that account is overall and with the fans and what they do. Stream X amount and you unlock this. Like, just the social media was top tier. And I honestly believe that they kind of taught some of that to the fans. Watching how they moved and also seeing how they needed to move taught the fans a lot. Because when it came to supporting Fifth Harmony, I mean, the fans had to figure out radio, the audience, and every amount of numbers surrounding the radio platforms. And all of them at that, not just one. They had to figure out several ventures so that way they could see, okay, where is this going to debut? Because there wasn't a bunch of people making chart predictions. Pop Crave didn't have 1 million followers. Chart Data didn't have 500,000 followers or even 100,000 followers. Pop Crave maybe had 50K. Pop Crave and Chart Data, they have thrived on stan culture. They have become the central location of it all, to be honest. But back then, it was just so different. The interactions, at this point, it has left a lot of fans spoiled now. Especially when you look at solo fans now, and after the girls have left, those who were Harmonizers, those interactions don't happen. Nothing in the group happens as a solo stan. Literally the basic things happen significantly less. I mean, there used to be Fifth Harmony Fridays, Awesomeness TV. We used to be fed down, like consistently on a regular basis. Did not have to worry about it. A summer single, whatever, we knew it was coming. Does not matter. We were spoiled. We were. Unfortunately, that was at the expense of them being overexposed, and now they're tired, and everybody's like, question mark, where are they? Well, you ever think they were just tired of being overexposed and they don't want to do it? I mean, well, we have to be serious. I think Harmonizers is just so big. There's so many things to cover about it. Because when you talk about the Twitter interactions, I mean, you can talk about the interactions with the Fifth Harmony account or the 5 girls individually. So it was just, everything was just, I guess, feeding into each other, and the girls fueling the fans, and the fans just boosting the girls up, and everything kind of just promoting each other, essentially. When you talk about fans in Twitter interactions, of course there's voting, but there's also radios. Radios thrive now, and even at that time, on interactions. I mean, what the Fifth Harmony count used to do was thank every radio station individually and send the harmonizers their way, so that way they knew where to go to request. They thrive on interactions. The interactions bring them attention. Listeners bring them the money they need. Okay? People got bills to pay. So, especially, let's talk about Most Requested Live. Yeah, harmonizers used to eat that down all the time, and it used to get the girls several spins on pop radio, and a lot of their songs really boosted up because of that. So, I really think everybody could take a page from harmonizers. I know nobody's going to give them credit, period, but I think harmonizers really set the tone for a lot of things. I think a lot of fans did in their own right. But I do believe that this fandom did. I personally believe, like, I just don't see it for any other girl group like that. I don't. Where, for one, they have obviously the energy together as one, but the energy individually. Not that they don't have talent individually, but the fans have not created that lane for them. Which each individual girl with Fifth Harmony, the fans created their own space for a girl. Like I said, each individual update account, or each individual voting account, each individual radio account. They have their own space. I don't see that generally right now. I feel like that is a tool to utilize, especially when you are a group. I also think that would help flow a lot, but that ain't up to me. Anywho, I think that harmonizers have done such an amazing job because look at the interactions. How do you think that they got that VMA performance in 2017? I know you don't think that the VMAs was just like, oh, let's magically go pick Fifth Harmony. Because if Harmonizers was not on that ass, do you think they would have got that performance? No. Be for real. That would not have happened. The impact of the fans to be... Y'all... Take a second to beat out the Hive in voting, to beat out Swifties in voting, Navy in voting. These are big fan bases. These are not small fan bases. To win major awards like Best Collaboration at the VMAs and Collaboration of the Year AMAs. 2017, Best Pop at the VMAs. They won Best U.S. Act at the EMAs 2017. They won some major awards. Crazy. And the fact that fans were able to strategize and coordinate enough to be able to execute these, you got to give it to them. You got to give it to them. Because again, BTS was on the back end, and there were times that harmonizers were up against BTS, and harmonizers did what had to be done. But on the back end, I think 2018 BTS was already like zoom. That was it. I believe the very last time at the iHeartRadio, the Fan Army, the very last one. Yep. Nope. They took that in 2017. We did not get that. We got it in 2016 though. So, girl, I can't. When I think about harmonizers, I just think about impact. Harmonizers are crazy as hell, but one thing about them, they was gonna win those awards down, secure those performances down. I wish that, because I don't feel like harmonizers had much impact on songs that got released in this day and age, for one, I think that Harmonizers would have pushed for certain songs a bit more now. And I think the message could have gotten across a lot clearer. I truthfully believe that. Aside from that, with TikTok, with the work from home dance, all in my head, Sledgehammer, be serious. With the choreography, yeah, they would have eaten it down. They already didn't have it, and look what the songs did. Imagine if they did. Work from home should have been number one. We're not going to talk about that today. It should have been, but imagine it with TikTok. It definitely would have been. But anyway, yeah, when you look at the pure cells of Fifth Harmony's last album, and a lot of people talk about it. It was 40K, and yeah, 40K. Y'all, do you know? Was it 40K? That's what I'm thinking in my head. Was it 40K? I think, was it 40? Oh, was it 40K total that they had sold? Girl, I don't remember. But I remember it specifically being 40K because at the time it was the same amount as Caution that year as Mariah Carey. And I was like, looking at Pure Cells now, girl, they're getting 10, 15K. And actually, I think it was 40K. Girl, for Harmonizers to have been, and imagine if gifting still counted. Because I want to say, yeah, in 2017, gifted stopped being counted as a sale. But now it's just kind of like, it's so weird. The way that people do it now, because people are getting around the international block. So they're making like banking accounts. So that way there's a trusted, secure person within the fandom that handles funds and can send the money out to people in the location that they need to get the sales, and then go from there. That's what they do now. Back then, we could just gift on iTunes or whatever. That can't be done. So, yeah, it's such a different time. Even in just 2016, 2017, it's such a different time in how things worked. It was so different. Because back then in 2017, how it worked was, we were like, okay, for people who can't buy the album, you can stream. But let's figure this out. And I'm talking in regards to Fifth Harmony's last album and how they got 40K. So we had to come up and figure out how many streams you needed on a 10-track album to get an album sale. And at the time, it's different now. But at the time, you had to stream each song the same amount of times as tracks on the album. So you stream one song 10 times, and that equals a song sale. 10 song sales equal an album sale. That's how that worked at the time. So I was like, oh, okay. So this is what we're going to do in order to help boost the album. Obviously, streams are helping the album, but streams don't mean anything really at the time of 2017. I mean, it really just started taking over. It wasn't really pushing your album or anything. The album still debuted at number 4. So aside from the fact that we literally were in FYE going out and buying the Fifth Harmony album, they were doing CD signings and whatnot and everything. And the Harmonizers made sure they went out there and bought CDs and cleared the shelves. Oh man, isn't that crazy? It's crazy to even think about that people were getting physical CDs. Wow. Yo, even in 2017. I mean, like, FYE, I'm pretty sure I don't even see any FYEs anymore. Like, can you, girl, imagine walking up and seeing an FYE. I would kind of gag a bit. I'd be like, wait a minute, let me take a picture. Like, it's almost as rare as a GameStop now. Anyway, girl, that's really all I really have to talk about with Harmonizers today. But there was just such an impact with that fandom that, I don't know, you just can't skip over it. You got to talk about that. I don't think anybody really talks about it. I think people like to you wash over Fifth Harmony or whatever, but nobody likes to talk about what they actually did, because a lot of people aren't doing it, especially as a girl group. And looking beyond that, well, look who made a lot of it happen. Their fans. And I feel like that part doesn't get talked about at all, because it's a ghost town. Anybody who was a Harmonizer still are, first of all. Second, they're like, oh, hate the group. Hate it. But any sight of a reunion possibly being unclear, they're like, oh. I'm like, yeah. I see you, bitches. I see you. We know y'all love them. Enough. We just know that the group was nasty. We know behind the scenes it was hell. They had their great moments, but it was hell behind the scenes. We're not shying away from that. But girl, the love that Harmonizers have for that group, it's insane. When you go to a concert, you're welcomed by everybody. I remember I went to a concert in Nashville by myself. Nobody I knew Fifth Harmony. So it's like, fuck it, I'm gonna go by myself. I got a hotel, did my thing, and then I went to this concert. And little did I know, my friend Jenna was there. Hey Jenna, girl, if you're listening, love that for you. Anyway, she was actually at this concert. We ended up meeting at the Normani meet and greet in Nashville. But we were at this concert in Nashville at the 727 tour and didn't know it. Small world, right? That has happened several times to me, by the way. But just the energy when you come to a concert, it's so welcoming. You know, everybody singing is just a very free environment. And on several occasions, on all occasions actually, when I've gone to see them, it's been nothing but that. It's been nothing but positive energy. So that's just really what I think about when I think about Harmonizers. I think about the impact. But I also think about the openness and how they embrace strangers and aren't judgmental. You know what I mean? That is just what it was generally. It was a community. Love that. That was so cute. I think at that time back then, I was around for the Stan stuff, but I wasn't invested in it to that extent, because I spent a lot of my time buying CDs, going to concerts, watching on Good Morning America. And I know a lot of these things happen now, but it was just so different. There really wasn't. We weren't going on MySpace to update our post about seeing Miley Cyrus perform 7 Things on Good Morning America for the first time. We weren't doing that. So it's different. Regardless, I am very appreciative of the experience of being a Harmonizer. It has taught me all the shit I know about the industry. To be honest, like it's the little things. It's the little things, how the radio works, you know? You gotta know how much that bullet is. You gotta know the spins. You gotta know the audience. There's so many different things about radio that you need to know. And the different formats of radio. And sometimes there are formats that may combined. Like, what is it? Is it? It's hot AC adult contemporary, and then it's what? It's like, I don't know. It's another genre combined with adult contemporary as a radio format. Girl, anyway, I think it's R&B, but anyway, there's so many things you got to know about that. And then when it came to, again, the girls' team would be lacking, or the label would be lacking, and we would see, oh, they need to do this in order to help them here. They need to do this to do that. And things really start to make sense, because at some point in time, I think Harmonizers started to realize, oh, these things need to happen. These things aren't happening. Now we need to be vocal about them, because we've realized what should actually happen. And sure, you can say, you're fans, you don't know anything. Girl, you think that if you want to. But there's a lot of people on Stan Twitter who are going to be the future people that are going to be in the music industry. I mean, that's a good thing and a bad thing. Anyway, I'm just saying, for one, there's a lot of people who have the natural talent. There's a lot of people who've gone out of their way to actually educate themselves. You know, that's what I did, big time. When I came across a lot of experiences that Fifth Harmony was having, or certain things that they needed to do, I really would research it. I would research specifically how radio worked and everything that you just need to know regarding promotion and how to make an artist successful. So I think that Fifth Harmony really did inspire a lot of us harmonizers to do that. And I don't think that was their intention. No, it wasn't at all. It just was an unfortunate mishap of them having a horrible team management, whatever. We just kind of almost picked up a piece, and they listened to us, which still to me to this day is very weird, because I feel like in these days an artist may not listen because of a label, but they listened because Fifth Harmony literally was founded off of being a fan-driven group. They came from a reality TV show where they had to be voted for everything. It's always been their lives. As a group, it's always been that group's life. So, the experience of being a harmonizer is crazy. There's so many different aspects to it. But all in all, I think it has been a very transformative one. Fifth Harmony not only made you feel something about yourself, made you want to get up, feel joy, dance, be in the moment, blah, 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 and all that good shit. You know what I mean? But taught you something. Like, you took something. It inspired a lot of people to want to be in this industry. I know a lot of people who are harmonizers who are literally currently in this industry because of a lot of things they took from Fifth Harmony and applied it to their lives, their experience, or utilized it to help somebody else and create their own lane. Literally. So, girl, love that for harmonizers. There are so many things you can say about harmonizers, but I think I've said just about all, truthfully. But I appreciate you for listening. I thank you for listening, because this is the That's Sowdev podcast, where you stay true and stay you, baby. Seriously, no. I hope you guys absolutely eat some good food, drink some water, take care of yourself, put self-care first. There's a lot going on in the world. You have to take care of you. Who else is going to? Oh, girl, I know. Take a lot of time to do that. It's worth it in the end. It's all gonna work out. Whatever it is you're going through, Period, okay? Now, again, I appreciate you. Thank you so much. I'm hopping off here. Make sure you follow me on all social medias at That's Sowdev on Twitter, Instagram, and literally everywhere else, child. I'm hopping off here. Have a good night. Peace, y'all.